Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our main topic today. While the Minister of Migration discusses with the President of the Federation of the Egyptian Entities in Europe the possibility of participating in decent life, Ambassador Nabila Makram, the Minister of Migration and Expatriate Affairs, received Dr Mostafa Ragab, the President of the Federation of Egyptian Groups in Europe and the Director of the Egyptian Family House in London to discuss the joint cooperation in order to serve the Egyptian entities abroad and discuss the possibility of their participation in the national project for the development and the development of Egyptian rural villages, the initiative of a decent life. To shed more light on this, we really have the pleasure and the honor to host today Mr. Mostafa Ragab, the President of the Egyptian entity in Europe. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you. The pleasure is for me.
My pleasure. Well, sir, we'd like that you give us an idea about this meeting first with the Ambassador Nabila Makram.
We consider the project for the President one of the most important projects that we've ever heard of, especially because this place is more or less like neglected or forgotten. So yes, we were so pleased to hear that about the project. Yes. Minister Nabila Makram kindly have adopted this idea and started to promote it within the last conference. And we thought with the idea that the best way for promote this project, that each group in Europe can take the responsibility to develop one of these projects. And that what we discussed in our meeting with her. And we suggested that we be the first to take a project and fundraise for it and make sure that this project would be developed. She suggested that a village in Mansoura that had a latest disaster, yes, would be the village. I think it's called El Batli. I can't remember the name of the village. And we are waiting now for the details of this project and the fund that is needed to develop this project, and we're going to start fundraising for it. Yes. Beside that, we have suggested also that the rest of the community groups in Europe, the Egyptian community groups in Europe, each one of them will take up a project to develop. This is the way that we see the future for these projects to be developed, over the future for us to participate and help to develop these projects.
Yes, so Mr. Ragab, what is the kind of cooperation that is going to take place, the shape of this cooperation and the steps that you are going to take in order to implement this cooperation?
Exactly. So once we receive the details of the project, we want full details of the project. And the estimated budget, because of course there is no exact figures, the estimated budget, we're gonna promote that within the community in Europe and especially in the UK. And we're gonna have a special bank account to fundraise for this project. And we are going to go around and promote the project with the people, with not necessarily just Egyptians, with all our friends and colleagues and business in UK, yes, and make sure that we will raise enough funds to develop this project. Yeah. We have done things like that before. We've been working in Egypt with a few other projects, and this is not new to us. So we have an experience of developing these projects, and this will help us to succeed and do something within this project for the President. Yes. We are so pleased that finally something going to be done for the villages and rural places in Egypt.
Yes. So, Mr. Ragab, why did you've just mentioned that you are going to start with Mansoura? Yes.
It's
a village in Mansoura.
A village in Mansoura.
Yes. Why did you choose this village specifically in Mansoura to start with?
To my knowledge, this village have recently, yes, suffered a huge disaster, was losing about 20 of their youth in one of these illegal immigrants. I heard about a boat in Libya that sunk with people from this village. So this is something that highly promoted now around the community. So if we start with a village like this, it's like we are with you, we feel for you, we know what happened in this disaster, and we're going to try and do something for you.
Yes.
So because the media have promoted this lately, spoken a lot about this disaster that happened to those youth. People sometimes are not aware really of what's happening, and they spend a lot of money and put their life at risk. And I'd like through the program to say to all this kind of people who do this adventure or the disaster adventure, stop it. It's not working for you. You lose your life. This money that you pay together to leave, you can put it together in a project and do some business together, and that will be much better for you to put your life at risk and have these illegal activities by leaving the country and going to another country.
Yes. So, Mr. Ragab, what is the kind of help that the Egyptian entities could help Egypt in reconstruction of the countryside, and also providing help in the initiative of Decent Life, which is aims at raising the standard of living of the Egyptian citizen?
Well, raising awareness is very important.
Yes.
Because when we talk about something, we need details.
Yes.
We need details to give it to the people, to tell them. If you just say, we're going to do a project in this village, that is not good enough. We need a lot of details about this project.
Yes.
And the estimated budget for the project. And then we can promote this. And we are going to work towards this. We are going to help and do that. We know that a lot of villages in Egypt needs a lot of things, whether it's water or housing or health. Or there is a lot of needs in those places. And once we have full details of all the projects needed, then the other community groups in Europe can choose what they can do according to their ability, what fundraise they can do. Of course, there is projects that will cost a lot of money. There's projects that will cost maybe not as much, so people will have the choice to choose what their capability, what they can afford to do, what they can afford to help with. This is very important, that people can have a clear picture, can have a clear view of the project, and maybe they come from this village themselves. There is a lot of people abroad who come from those places in Egypt. So if they choose to help where they come from, that would be wonderful. So they can do something for the places they came from.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Ragab, what is the size of the help or dedications that expatriates or Egyptian entities abroad provide to Egypt, as for example in the field of economy, for example?
In the field of economy, for example, we are trying our best to help the Egyptian products to come to Europe. And there is a lot of friends who are doing this, whether it's agriculture or industrial. So this is a field that we're working very hard on it. And we achieved a lot of success. And now with the UK coming off the European market, the British market will become a very good market for Egyptian products. And that's why we're trying also to promote this. And the shortage in the British market will be covered from Egyptian products. There is already a lot of products that are coming from Egypt, especially with food coming to the UK and to Europe. But the UK, especially because of them going out of the European market, they will be in need for a lot of products. And that's what we're trying to do, is to promote these products to come. There is people who are so happy to see, especially Egyptians, to see their own products in the British market. And you see them on the social media. I'm so happy I bought grapes from Egypt today, I brought orange from Egypt today, and put it on social media. That's in itself a kind of promotion for these products. So this is happening automatically, not costing any money. So we are pleased to be part of this.
Yes. So, Mr. Ragab, how to see the importance or the result of Egypt's keenness as a state to connect expatriates to their homeland, to connect the Egyptians living abroad with their homeland with many ways and through many channels, like for example the conference or the foundation and initiatives of Egypt Can that have started years ago.
This is a very important issue. We're working very hard on it. And that was one of the points we discussed with the minister in our meeting,
yes.
Especially for the second and the third and the fourth generation now. And we have agreed to do trips for the youth, package deals that can be affordable for the youth. The fund that the Egyptian youth can go to Spain for a package deal of £250, and that will include the flight, the hotel, the food and everything. And we want to do something like that for them. They can afford this money, but the cost for the trips nowadays is very expensive. If we can arrange something like that for them to come and see the Egyptian civilization,
yes.
to see what happened in Egypt, what is the latest development in Egypt, this is very important. We are very impressed when we see it ourselves, but we want the youth to see it. We want the youth to see how Egypt progressing, how Egypt coming up to join the international world. So if we can arrange this, the minister has promised to work on this with various departments, whether it's airlines or hotels or whatever, in order to arrange affordable trips, package deals to the Egyptian youth abroad. If we achieve this, and then we succeeded to get them to Egypt. Once you get them to Egypt, then you can do a program that fully equipped with everything, not just visiting places. You can also, awareness is very important, because we're working against a lot of people who are working against Egypt. So the awareness against those people got to come from the source, from Egypt. When people say things, bad things about Egypt. So when those people come and see for themselves with their own eyes that this is not true, this is the truth, this is the truth about Egypt, this is how Egypt is coming up. When you see what is happening in Egypt now, I'm very impressed myself. And as I said, there's people who say the wrong things about Egypt. We want our young people to come and see what's happening in Egypt, and meet the people and talk to them. I meet a lot of people and interview people, and when I go back, I show people these interviews, and people talk very highly, because the reputation is very important. And there is our enemies abroad are trying very hard to destroy our image. So we have to. Of course,
there are lots of challenges, but
yes. We have to work against them. We have to put a clear picture to the people what is happening in Egypt.
Picture of Egypt and the achievements that we are witnessing recently.
Yes.
I thank you very much for your valuable information, Mr. Mostafa Ragab, the President of the Egyptian entity in Europe. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, and thank you for everybody watching us today.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time. I'm Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.